I've been in vKids for about 4 years, which gives me the ability to kind of see how some of our kids have changed and grown through Christ. And when I first started, there was this little girl, I'm thinking of specifically, who was kind of shy and just very young in her faith, but just seeing her start off as, you know, just this little child in kindergarten coming to vKids, just it's fun, you're having games, and being more of a passive listener to then being an active participant and actively practicing what we teach. Sometimes
we'll be going through these super simple lessons of, you know, trust God because He's good, and don't worry. Right. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I've got all these things going on, and I'm not doing any of those because I think that I can handle it on my own. And it's so cool to go back to the basics and like I need to do that. So it's very humbling.
Yeah.
Sometimes you think with kids, like, they don't actually listen to the things that you say.
Right.
But it's really funny, like, how much like sponges kids are. We were going through John 3:16, which everybody knows, but it's cool to see kids who you like raise your hand like, oh, what's John 3:16? And they all give you a blank stare, and just to see them go from not knowing that to the end and knowing how much truth is packed into that is just awesome.
It's just so cool to be talking about a passage in scripture and then to hear them relay it to their lives and then be able to apply it in specific situations. We literally played hockey with toilet brushes one time and like tennis ball. Like you do this crazy, silly stuff, and it really brings everybody together. It's a blast working with the students, middle school, high school, and then at the end of it, you can talk about scripture and just how much God is working in these students' lives.
Sometimes we think that serving the kids is only coming into the classroom to serve them, but we have a lot of different positions, whether it be just volunteering for certain events like the Halloween event, such a big event to reach future generations, but also doing things just like check-in and helping with the curriculum. We also have such a huge amount of people in this church who are loving and caring, and that's really what we need for our kids. We need someone who's just simply going to be there for them, but also hold them accountable for their spiritual growth.
I think sometimes, I'm kind of like Rachel said, we think that it's one person's responsibility to lead people to Christ, but there's a reason why in scripture it talks about how one waters, how another provides the seed, and how God is the one who provides that increase. As the storyteller or as a facilitator, we aren't alone the ones who are going to bring somebody to Christ, whether it be in our personal lives or here at church. Like each of those conversations, we need to really be intentional and think about the things that we're saying and how those conversations we're having with our children and the children of Vintage is going to help to push them closer to Christ.
You don't have to be perfect to serve, and I know we always remind the middle school students and the high school students of, hey, we're not here because we're perfect by any means. Like, please, that's not why we're here. I hope you understand that. We always make sure they know the only reason we're here is because our lives have been changed by the gospel and God, and we want to share that with them. And to get these kids who are so focused on grades and performing in sports and arts, and there's so much pressure socially, and just for them to see of, hey, you know, these leaders, they're not perfect either.
I think that that's really big to understand, that if you do take on a role with the kids, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to put on a facade, you know, that you have everything together. It gives them an example of okay, I don't have it all together, but through Christ, I'm going to believe that He's going to provide for me. He's going to take care of me. And that's what it's all about. It's just bringing it back to God and helping them through their path.